So Nitara is a character that I've always had a soft spot for, and wanted to come back into the series, but never thought it would really happen. In the NRS era of MK, we already had our new blood magic user in Scarlet, and I would say that Scarlet's MK9 appearance, she shared a more polished version of Nitara's moveset, at least it felt that way to me. Of course, NetherRealm never forgot about the character, because there have been references to her, such as in Scorpion's Revenge, and in MK11, with the Aaron Black and Scarlet intro where she even says that they are pretty similar.
I stepped out with Nitara before you.
You clearly have a type, Aaron.
Just like living dangerously.
Plus, I even heard that she was in the 2019 live-action MK movie, although you cannot pay me to see that garbage, so I'm not sure if it's true or not. With MK1 coming out and having more 3D era characters in the roster, I was still not sure of her chances. Sure, I thought Havoc would come back, maybe even Draman, or someone of a more wacky nature to tap into the roots of that era of the series. But lo and behold, on September 6, 2023, we got a reveal trailer for her to come back. But even with the title of that video, we were greeted with a sight. With Megan Fox voicing the character, it made a lot of people question it, especially since almost every time they have a guest to voice somebody, it's usually pretty unsavory to the character, like Ronda Rousey as Sonya in MK11. But I was still optimistic. The gameplay looked there, and aerial fast rushdown archetype is usually not something we see in this era of MK, so it was definitely welcome to me. Then, the fateful day arrived, as MK1 was finally released, and people got to get their grubby little mitts on the game, and it was amazing. Getting your hands on a new MK is a feeling that almost cannot be replaced. Everyone looked and played flashy and brutal. The voice acting was stupendous all around, except for one character, and if you saw the title of this video and listened to the first part, then you know who I'm talking about. What did they do to Nitara? Did Megan Fox ruin the character? Was the character always like this to begin with? That is the question I look to answer, so join me as we break down this mystery together. I am your host B.U.N.K, and the Lounge welcomes you. Now let's divide this into chapters. First we will compare the story of the original to the new era, then the gameplay and the looks of the characters, then the Jennifer's body-sized elephant that is in the room. In the original timeline, it is said and shown that Nitara is a bit of a scoundrel. Nitara manipulates, lies, and is deceitful to get what she wants. You would think that this would make her a bad character, but she does it to save her people from being bound to the Khan of Outworld by a mystical orb holding her and all of her kind to the realm of Outworld. The only reason she can get out of the realm, being held hostage, is by a magic necklace she wears. Eventually, through a plot of SIRPSYXX and Nitara helping each other out, they eventually break the orb and free her people. She is presented as a liberator to them, but then finds out another combatant is murdering her people, that being Ashura, and goes on a quest to kill her. I always thought that they made Nitara feel like she had a purpose to fulfill. Sure, she was not doing great things that make her look bad, but she was doing it for the right of her people, making her a kind of gray area on the good-evil alignment chart as a whole character. Now in the new timeline, her realm, Vaternius, has been separated from Outworld already. Now her Covenant kind must seek out more blood to sustain their immortality. Nitara's loyalty to her home realm remains, though she is not as neutral as her previous iteration, as she is willing to go through hypocritical lengths to ensure her realm's safety, having deliberately sided with Quan Chi by assisting in a Soul Stealer's construction. Despite this, she still believes her people's reliance on blood does not make them inherently evil. I'm not gonna lie to you. I pretty much copied and pasted that one from the Mortal Kombat wiki, but you can tell that there is a huge difference between these versions of the character. One was trying to be a liberator of her realm and free her people, while the other just wants to sustain her immortality by raiding other realms for blood to do so. She can say that that doesn't make her evil all she wants, but at the end of the day, it makes her sound pretty fucking evil. It kind of felt like, in the first one, at least to me, that her race just so happened to be vampires. I mean, sure, she needed blood to live, but that's not what her character. In the new era, though, it feels that she is a vampire first and foremost. I will let you guys decide which one you like better for story, but I'm sticking with the OGs on this one. Chapter 2. For the classic gameplay, I don't currently have the games on me. However, if you are curious about this and you want to see it, Nexus MK on YouTube has runs with this character and most other 3D MK characters, so you can check it out there. In Deadly Alliance, Nitara was kind of a simple character, an intense hit and run playstyle so she could get her buffs in and do the real damage she desperately wanted to do. This could turn any 25 to 30 damage combo into a 60 to 90 damage combo, which is just wild to think about. In Armageddon, she mainly kept the same gameplay, except with the power-up system gone, she mainly relied on hitting you away with solid damage and trying to zone to finish you off. It wouldn't be about another 17 years before we would finally get the character again in MK1, and let's just see how she is. Nitara is a glass cannon character in this game, able to rush down and do crazy damage if she can get the opponent open, but that's kind of the thing, if she can get you open. She has a moveset that is a little weird, and can seem like it is good at opening you up for a full combo, but once you learn her, there's really no mix-up and it feels like, to get a combo going, you have to wait for the enemy to try to push offense on you. She has two main gimmicks in this game, that being her flight and her blood sacrifice mechanic. Her flight is pretty basic, so I don't think I really need to go over it here, but her blood sacrifice should be gone over. Nitara does a little damage to herself to add a buff to one of her moves. If you enhance this move at any time near an enemy, this does tick damage and heals you the damage that it is doing. The moves it enhances being Blood Spit to do a little more tick damage. Her Quick Taste lunging move gets a property that heals her a little bit, which is the main one you will probably be going for, but you also get access to a new move in this form, being her only zoning option in her kit, that being Bloody Bolt, which is a move that has a long startup of 53 frames. However, if the move comes out, it does a lot of stagger on blocks, so you gotta give it that. Now, this mechanic does a lot, and you might be thinking to yourself, "B.U.N.K, doesn't that all just sound really good for her character?" To which I say, yes, absolutely. However, it is quite difficult to use in the middle of battle, and is the reason I have Frost as one of my main cameos I run with this character, so I can heal as much as humanly possible in one little combo. But my friends, Nitara is not considered a bottom 5 for no reason. She has problems opening you up. Playing her can just feel like you're playing a round of footsies the entire game, where you and your opponent are mainly just doing chip damage and grabs on each other, and she is tied with the lowest health pool in the game of 900 instead of the usual 1000. This insanely limits the cameos she can use, because you don't want to be caught in a Raiden combo with 850 health because you decided to run Striker for a change. Chapter 3. Now to her looks. In the 3D era, I always thought that Nitara looked like a big, imposing figure. Of course, that could have been my little kid brain doing the average cartoon wolf when he sees a remotely attractive girl reaction.
I want a diamond ring, I want some bracelets and everything. Daddy, you better get the best for me. Hey, Daddy.
In the new era, she just feels like not as imposing or as much of a threat, just on looks alone. She kind of has this like baby face, where the original had this more older, serious look and attitude. Now for her. Megan Fox playing Nitara could have not been a bad thing, but it seems that Papa Ed Boon just saw they had some extra money lying around, and maybe he liked Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Could almost anybody have worked better? Most likely. Could a 15-year-old Ronnie Radke-obsessed goth girl from 2007 give more heart and emotion in the role? Absolutely. However, I will give Megan this one thing. The screeches are amazing. They feel like a blood-boiling scream from a demon. However, whether or not that is Megan Fox being good, or the sound design team putting in overtime, I will leave to whatever headcanon you want out of that. Of course, I don't want to spread hate to the Fox of the Megan. It is just with a series that I hold so dear in my heart, and a character within that series that I also have held in that same respect. Seeing her portrayed this way was not what I was really looking for. Although, I will say, no matter the Nitara, she is still pretty fucking cool. So what do you all think? Do you think that Nitara should have been forgotten, or do you think she will come back soon? Let me know down in the comments. Take care, and have a great day. Also, a little side note at the end. She is not my favorite 3D MK character. I do hope to make a video on him one day, but we'll see. We'll see how that all goes. Alrighty, this is for real now. Bye-bye!
That blade's enchanted.
It was forged to
We can't help what we are. That we feed on blood doesn't make us evil.
Cringe!